Again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery with an OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula and a palette knife by Liquitex. I have a 10 by 20 inch canvas. I know sometimes I get my sizes wrong. I know I had an 8 by 8 and I called it an 8 by 10. This is, what is this? This is the Artist Loft. That's water from somewhere I don't know. I've touched my edges with some Artist Loft. I want a basic layer, a basic thin layer, and then I'm going to add some paint, which might be kind of difficult considering how slowly that is coming out. It does not matter that I got a couple of little driblets. Is that like giblets? I got driblets on the canvas while I was mixing up my Polypore paints from Color Art. Excuse me, Prism Pour paints from Color Art. Vivid Polypore is what's in them, along with some GAC 800, which is now another product that is also a pouring medium, so it's got a name change, that's all. I know I could turn my turntable, but then I'd have to move that bottle, and right now I'm feeling like that bottle might be important. So I don't know how to describe this exactly. I kind of think maybe eventually someday it'll become a transfer swipe when I pick up some paint and stretch it out with a palette knife or move it from one place to another, which I've done over the years anyway. Somebody else is playing with this and I wish I knew their name. I'm trying to remember. I'm not very good at that. She's on my Instagram feed if that helps. So there's my start, and my canvas is covered with a layer of wet paint. And I think what I want to do in my next step is take some of the Meeden paint that I put in this laundry detergent, well, sans ant, go away ant, and I will spread that down the middle. But for right now, I'm going to go all over the place. And I could spread this out with a spatula, but what I'm thinking is if I could get the black to go down, it might be kind of interesting just to play with something different. It seems a little thick. So there's my wandering whatever, and thick enough to not really spread very easily. So why don't I do what I said I was going to do? Oh, and I can see all the bubbles now. Cool. That means we can hit it with a torch really quickly. And maybe if I move that out of there entirely, we can use the spinning effect of my turntable. Generally, I think using this OXO omelet turning spatula, available on my Amazon link, Amazon link being on the link tree under the video, usually gets rid of all the bubbles, but for some reason this Artist Loft paint turned out to be something different than it was in the past, and it's very bubbly. So I have a fairly thick layer in the center, which I hope once I add paint to it will help everything move. In the meantime, I'm going to use my torch. And the reason I use a propane torch, by the way, is because I went through 5 butane torches and they really did not work for me for longer than whatever, and it was $5 for a butane tank that lasted a week, and this propane tank has lasted, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months for $5. So you decide what you think. I have opened up most of my Prism pours. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I have a copious amount of paint in there. Of which I may have to add more, evidently. Okay. I'm using the laundry soap container somebody sent me because I like the square edge. And having a copious amount of paint, in this case, is a really good thing because it's the catalyst for being able to move everything else with the spatula. But I'm really inclined, because I don't like waste, although that paint is pure in there, so I could probably pour it back into the bottle if I wanted to. But I think I like changing things up a little bit. So don't actually mind being creative with my leftover, residual, whatever you want to call them, rather than attempting to put them back in the bottle. I'm going to put them down on the canvas. And I'm going to throw both of those things right into the bucket, because I have more of those Princeton Artil Catalyst spatulas. Now I have something called Violet Rose. And the last time I did this on black, with the white layer in between. And put all my colors in just a single straight line, which probably doesn't make much difference by the time you finish adding cell activator that's Floetrol. I'm going to knock that off and hope that I have a lid for that somewhere, and I'm suspecting that I have. Yeah, maybe not right this second. So, like I said, that was Violet Rose. This is Claret. The one I did was blue. It was really hard to photograph blue. It's like a green screen. It sort of disappears things. The Claret and this Violet Rose look awesome together. I might have thought about tipping, just briefly. I have a desire to use all purples and maybe some blue velvet also. This is a Royal Galaxy, which is kind of similar. So I will make it brief. I'm tempted to add a little bit of pink diamond in a minute. I want that lid. Well, I've got a temporary lid and that'll be fine. This is my African Violet. I'm going to have to get some more of this. This has become a new favorite. It has the same depth of color as the blue velvet. This time I might slip a little bit of Chantilly lace, which is very diamond-like white. I just want all of that. I don't want to put it on my Lolafi silicone mat this time. And I even added a little bit more vivid polypore so I could make it extended out, because I'm almost out. I want that top to go on there so it does not dry out. So now my choices are some Northern Sky, come on spoons, split apart. Let's do the Northern Sky first, and then the blue velvet after. I'm gonna wish I had a photograph of this now. I was thinking about gold or silver, and I think I have some gold cell activator that's made of golden iridescent, pearlescent fine, golden iridescent fine. I'm going to sneeze. Darn. Wow, okay. I've got some frozen, and I want some. Oh yeah, no, the frozen is one of my favorite things also. I hope I got some more of that in my last batch. Don't forget that there is a 20% off coupon code or promo code underneath the video. And if you're watching on something where you can't get it, ask me, because I will help you out with that. Okay, here's the blue velvet, which I've been expecting to be a really good thing. And then we'll finish with the gold and the white or the Chantilly lace. And there's a lot of paint there. There's no doubt about it. I went a lot gung-ho for this. I'm going to pick up my drips. Now I have 3 palette knives as well as this other one, 3 different sizes, and I used them all yesterday. But I think this time, instead of black, I'm going to start with white and see how that goes. As long as I can swing my turntable all the way around, I should be fine. Let's make sure that is... I'm just going to do the purple also. And the gold was, the second gold that's in this gold mixture with the Aussie Floetrol is Decor Americana. And I want a little bit more on that other end. And I think I'm going to tip this one. Because I can. The name of my first book on the Amazon link. I'm not interested in wasting any paint, but I have a lot of paint on there. I'm going to throw that in the bucket for a minute and use my studio rag. I recommend a heavy turtleneck weight cotton studio rag that you keep wet or damp in a bowl. I never used my pink diamond, and I kind of wish I had, but it doesn't mean that it's too late now. It's really never too late. Just gonna let that thread itself out. I like that better. And I probably wouldn't have seen nearly as much pink diamond had I put it in there initially. And I'm really loving it. The gold didn't really show up, but I can also add some more of that as well. And I'm trying to keep the lids on my containers even though they're not sealed up tight. It just makes me feel like I have a better chance of keeping things from going to glop. Now I've got edge catchers, but I don't think that that's part of this process. So I'm going to grab one, and we'll call it a paint catcher. Actually, I've got an entire sheet. I did want to move some paint. We should try that. I suspect that I'll probably wind up making adjustments no matter what. White has not always been my favorite background, but in this case I'm thinking it might be very cool to move some paint. Let's just keep doing that. I think a smaller palette knife might not be a bad thing either. Probably would lay down a lot easier with a heavier coat in the background. Alright, so far so good. I am having kind of a fun time tilting. Let's go back the other direction. The cells are awesome. The gold did show up nicely. And I'm loving how the pink diamond is spreading out. I'm wondering if I should hit it quickly with a torch. Just to see if I can get rid of a few bubbles. Yep, a few bubbles are going away. Whatever I can't get this way. And I want to be quick because I don't really want to set up the surface. If I'd made up a container of colors like this, I could have probably filled in some stuff on the edges. But right then I got something. And I'll use my residuals off my palette knife. Kind of want something else there though. I haven't tried this method often enough to pick up paint patterns off of my paint catcher. I don't have that many minutes left, but I do have a desire to meld a few things. I'm not necessarily adept at this yet, but I'm loving the patterns that I've got. Totally. There's absolutely nothing to keep you from putting down patterns that you pick up with your palette knife again and again. So I love you guys, and I love that you're here, and I need you to know that I'm here 7 days a week. I'm not sure what time it'll be when I'm done, but right at the moment it's still 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I might take any dribbles I have and move them over the edge. I kind of like this just the way it is, and I think I ought to zoom in, and I might like to try, I don't know about that. That looked like a paint chip. Let's have that out of there. I might like to try shining my phone light, if I can get it set up in time. To show you the sparkle. There's some, I can see it over here. It's not easy to show you, but it's tremendous. And the cells are awesome. And as I do this time after time, I learn new things about what I want to do to set things up. So I love you guys. I hope you come again. I have over 2,300 videos, and they are organized by topic and genre. And if you can't find them by going to my YouTube channel and looking at playlists, all playlists, created playlists, you can ask me because I have them organized and saved and ready for you. I have a monthly drawing that helps support the studio in the production of its videos. And if you want to be in it, you can see the prizes to decide at the beginning of the exhibition video and the end screen of this video. I am going to be touching up my edges, at least following through with that line where they meet the edge. And I want to zoom in for you before you're gone. Anyway, you can find, wow, that's cool from up here. You can find the PayPal icon on my YouTube channel banner on the bottom right hand corner, or the link on my link tree. And my link tree also has Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links, Facebook groups, Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciation Group, especially for students. And you can also find Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links, did I say that twice? Society 6, and Legalerist Clothing Made in Montreal, which is investment quality. My email address is below the link tree if you would like to inquire about a class at the house in Spring Hill, Florida, or if you're interested in information about purchasing an artwork. If you like what I do, please give me a thumbs up, share it, share what I do with your fellow watchers if you possibly can, and know that watching longer and watching the commercials both help me out tremendously. So thank you for being here. I love you much. You inspire me often, and I hope you come again. Don't forget to check out my 2 books on the Amazon link on the link tree. It's Because I Can and Unlimited Possibilities, the first and the second 100 videos.